Okay students, so this is going to be our first class for the 100% English batch, and we are going to cover the RERA Act, that is the Real Estate Regulation and Development Act. So why this act came into force is to regulate the real estate environment. Okay, what is the real estate environment? Is like the real estate buildings, plots, etc. that builders are making and selling it, to regulate all these kinds of transaction of selling and buying of the properties by the builders and real estate. This particular act came into the force. Okay, so suppose if earlier you were buying some property, you are going to pay some amount to the builders, and the builders is actually not spending the amount into making the building, but investing the amount elsewhere. Okay, they are investing the amount elsewhere. So to regulate all these things, that builders cannot do this, and to do the things in the favor of the customers, this particular act came into the force. I hope you are able to understand that why this particular act came into the force, and we will all understand much about it after we will read through this chapter. So you might feel that the speed is little bit high, because we need to cover the whole eco laws in just 35 to 40 hours. So that is why my speed might be, you feel a little bit higher side, but I will tell you that understanding point of wise, we will do it we will do in three types of in our batch. Okay, let me tell you that one is the understanding point. Understanding we will give 100%. Okay, 100% understanding you will be able to get by seeing these lectures. Some points will be there where I will give you for reading purpose only. Now these kinds of topics are neither going to be asked in the examination, nor that is important for your understanding point of view. So you just read it, so you must know that okay, this is also something, these are only pure theoretical things that you just need to read it out. Okay, then there will be some theoretical points. The theoretical points are mainly procedural points that you do not need to remember, right? Suppose in our paper number 4, that is the law, we need to learn many limits, we need to learn many penalties, these kinds of things that are procedural and repeating again and again. We just do not need to understand anything into this, we just need to know that okay, something like this is there, and if any question come into examination, then we just need to come into that page number, see the limit, or suppose see the penalty, and done our MCQ or the descriptive question. Okay, I hope you are able to understand that how we are going to tackle this subject. Some points are understanding that I am going to give you, some points are going to be read that you are going to read, and then some are theoretical point that I will cover up. Okay, I will cover up that point, and if that point is again and again repeating, I will tell you that okay, this point I have covered earlier also. Okay, now you do not need to remember anything into this. Okay, you just need to focus more on understanding purpose, that whether you are able to understand this point or not. Suppose if you are reading any particular lines, so just make your mind aware that whether you are able to understand this particular line or not. Okay, I hope I make myself clear. So we all know that first few pages are only introduction of the act, so we do not just need to understand this, just read this particular pages. Okay, these are just why the act came into the force, that I have covered themselves only. Okay, one more thing I wanted to say, that in the building earlier what happened, that suppose the builder will say that he will give you 100 square meter of area, carpet area. Okay, but actually because what is carpet area is not been defined, because there was no act, no. So the carpet area has not been defined. So these 100,000 square meter is actually they are providing for 900 square meters. So no one can do anything that okay, you are not provided me the correct carpet area. But by the coming of this act, all these things are being regulated. Okay, this act came into the force from 1st May 2016, RERA Act 2016. Just read this page as well. So object why this RERA Act came into the force is to establish the Real Estate Regulation Authority, that is the authority who will actually regulate the real estate department. That is, suppose if there is some building is the building, the work of building is going on, so the it must need to register themselves in real estate authority. Okay, so this authority will take care that okay, all the things are going forward as per the RERA Act or not. Okay, to ensure the sale of plot, apartment, building, etc. In the efficient and transparent manner. All the sales, purchase and making of building is happening in a efficient and transparent manner. Okay. Now to protect the interest of the consumers, that okay, if you are giving the money, your money should be safe, your money should be invested for what you have given the money. Okay, so to protect the interest of consumers, as well as to establish the adjudicating mechanism, as well as to establish the appellate tribunal. Now what is adjudicating mechanism? Is a mechanism, suppose if someone has not done anything as per the act, then he must be adjudicated. Adjudicated means the punishment must be given, some orders must be given. So the orders or the penalties will be given by the adjudicating mechanism. Adjudicating mechanism is basically to inquire on someone. Okay, to do inquiry on someone and then pass orders if they think that okay, this person is guilty. But if suppose you are not happy with the orders passed, you think that you are not guilty, but the adjudicating authority has passed wrong orders against you, so can you go to the appeal? Okay, can you go to the appeal against the orders passed, that okay, this particular order is not good, I'm actually not guilty. So can you go to the higher authority? Yes, you can go to the higher authority, and the higher authority is appellate tribunal. You can go to the appellate tribunal. I hope you are getting some points out of it. We will study it in detail later on points also. Okay, so if you are a little bit able to understand till now, it is okay, because we are going to cover it further also. Now the application of real estate. Okay, the application of real estate. These points are actually the summary of all the act. Whatever we are going to read into the particular act, these things are the summary of the act. Okay, now the real estate regulation, the RERA applies to real estate projects. Real estate projects means the building. Okay, the building that is going to be built by the builders, or the apartment, plots, or whatever the project is known as the real estate project. Okay, promoters means the builder who is actually building. Okay, builders. Who are allottees? Allottees are the person who are actually buying, you and me. Okay, someone who is buying the real estate projects. And the real estate agents are the middlemen that bring the allottees to the promoters. Okay, suppose if you wanted to buy a plot or a flat for yourself, you will go to the agent, and the agent will tell you that okay, these are the plots. So he is the middleman between various promoters and the allottees. I hope you are able to understand. So this RERA Act applies to whom? It applies to all the persons, the real estate projects, the promoters, that is the builder, the allottees, that is the buyer, and the real estate agents, that is the middleman. Okay. Now the acts applies to the project that are ongoing at commencement of the act, and in respect of which no completion certificate has been issued. What does it saying? That okay, this particular act came into force in 2016, but suppose if there is a building who has built which has built in 2014, the building is built and completion certificate has also been obtained, so can RERA applies to these kinds of property which already built before commencement of this act? So it said no. Okay, the RERA Act will not apply on building that has obtain its completion certificate before the commencement of the act. But suppose if some building is ongoing, is actually building in during the 2015-16, okay, it is actually building now and he has not obtained the completion certificate, can RERA Act apply on this kind of building? Yes, The RERA Act will apply on these kinds of building who has not obtained their completion certificate before the commencement of the act. Now, can it apply on a building that is built on to 2022? Yes. Okay. I hope you are able to understand this point. Now, the act has covered both residential as well as commercial buildings. So suppose if you are going to buy a house for yourself, the act is going to be applied. Suppose if you are going to buy a office for yourself, the act will apply to there as well. Okay. Sorry for the disturbance. Let us revise one thing. That act is applies to real estate projects, promoters, allottees as well as agent. The act will apply to ongoing. The act will not apply to the buildings that already obtained its completion certificate, but it applies to the projects that is ongoing at the commencement of the act. The act is also applies to the commercial building, that is the house, as well as the commercial properties, that is suppose your office. Now, I have told you that these real estate projects need to be registered with the authority. Okay, these projects need to be registered with the authority so that authority can get to know that okay, this kind of project is actually building. Okay, so if suppose someone has not registered its project into the authority, so what will be the consequences? The consequences is that now that promoter is not able to advertise, market and book or sell its plot, apartment or building without first registering the real estate project with the respective authority. So without registering, the promoter cannot advertise, market and booking and selling of its project. Okay, so he cannot do the advertisement, selling and booking of the project until and unless he has registered with the authority. For the registration he need to make an application. For registration he need to make the application. Now this authority has been made state and UT wise. That is, for every state and UT there is different authority. Suppose Maharera is actually the RERA authority for Maharashtra. The RERA authority for Maharashtra. As similar to that, there will be RERA authority for Rajasthan, there will be RERA authority for Chennai, there will be RERA authority for Tamil Nadu and so on. And the real estate agents also need to be registered with the authority. So the real estate agents also need to be registered with the authority. If suppose the project has not been registered, then the selling of project has been barred. Okay, you cannot do selling of the property unless and until the project has been registered with the respective authority. Now suppose that a builder has registered a real estate project by saying that I will make a building on which gate will be here, the balcony will be here, and I will build the terrace and a window here. Okay, something like this, and he has registered the project. Okay, after registration, when it is actually making the project, what he has done, he has not given the balcony. He has not given the balcony. So can he do these kind of changes? So yes, he can do these kinds of changes, but only after obtaining the approval from 2/3 of the allottees, 2/3 of the buyers. Okay, so only after obtaining 2/3 of the allottees permission he can do changes in the real estate projects. Before any approval, he cannot by himself do any kind of changes. Suppose if there is a structural defect, he has made the building, he has given to the promoter has made the real estate project, and then the allottee will have taken the possession of the property, but after some times what happened, the structural defect happened. There is crack, or there is 2-3 cracks into the building. So if there is some structural defect now, so the promoter need to rectify it. The promoter need to rectify it if there is a structural defect within 5 years. Okay, if there is a structural defect within 5 years. Suppose the building has been completed in 2016, the possession has been given in 2020, and after that in 2025 till 2025, if there is any structure defect happen, the promoter need to rectify the same. Okay, the promoter need to rectify the same within 30 days from which he get the information. Within 30 days he get the information that, suppose okay, this day he get the information that there is a structure defect, so within this day till the 30th day he need to rectify these structure defect. So if the project has not been registered, he is barred from selling the project. If he needed any kind of changes into the project, 2/3 of allottees permission needed to be given. If there is a structure defect, he need to rectify it within 5 years. Okay. Carpet area has been defined under the act. Now what is carpet area, we will see further. Now whatever amount is given, okay, suppose you have collected 1 crore rupees for making of the project. Okay, you have collected 1 crore rupees for making of the project. Can the builder have whole of these 1 crore rupees? So in this particular act, what is given, that they need to deposit at least 70% of the amount. They need to deposit at least 70% of this amount into the bank, so that only he will kept it 30% with him and apply it to making the building. Okay, rest 70% when he will going to get, he will going to get it proportionately for the completion. Suppose he has completed the building 40%, so now he can withdraw 10% from it after getting the reports. He will have to give the report of CA, of architecture, of builders, that okay, I have actually completed the building 40%, and proportionately he can withdraw the amount from the bank. So what amount he must kept in the scheduled bank? At least 70% of the amount realized from the allottees. Suppose the builder has made the false representation. The builder has made the false advertisement that, suppose in this particular building, what happened, the Rajnikant has also been going to buy the plot. So after hearing this, many fans of Rajnikant has also brought the flats in the particular building. Okay, but this representation is false. Actually the Rajnikant sir has not going to buy any kind of flat into the building. So when this thing is going to be come into the notice of the buyers that okay, this is a false representation, the promoter need to return the money. The promoter need to return the money along with the interest. Along with the interest, he needs to return the money. Suppose the person has given to the promoter 1 crore rupees, so he need to return 1 crore rupees plus interest plus compensation if the property is bought due to some false representation. I hope you are able to understand this point. If the promoters, allottees, agents has not comply with the orders of authority, he can be liable for heavy penalty and for imprisonment also. Now suppose that I have told you that if you are building any kind of building, okay, if you are building any kind of project, you need to be registered with the RERA authority. You need it to be registered with the RERA authority. But now suppose if you are yourself wanted to build your house, okay, whether in this case you also needed to be registered into the RERA authority? So no, the RERA authority see that okay, this is a small case, this is a very exceptional case, you can do it by yourself. So for small buildings, it has said that okay, you can build it for yourself, but for actual builders, for large builders who are actually building and selling it, so for them it is necessary to obtain the registration in the RERA authority if they wanted to sell it, advertise it, and so on. Okay, so what is the exceptions? So which is not covered under the RERA Act is if you are building something for less than 500 square meter. Okay, a residential real estate project where land is over 500 square meter and the number of apartment exceed 8 inclusive of all phases. So there are various kinds of phases. Suppose in first phase I have built 3 3 floors. In next phase I am going to build 3 more 4 floors, and in next phase I am going to build 6 floors. Okay, 6 floors. So like this there will be various kinds of phases. So for each phases there will be a separate registration needed to be taken. So when registration need not to be taken when the area is less than 500 square meter, when the apartment number of apartment is less than 8 including all phases. Okay, the number of apartment is less than 8 and inclusive of all phases. Okay, if the land is over, that is more than 500 square meter, or the apartment exceeds 8 include all phases, it needed to be registered with the RERA authority. If lower than that, he did not need to register itself with the RERA authority. Okay, now I have told you that all the ongoing projects that has not obtained its completion certificate is covered under the RERA Act. So all the ongoing projects needed to be registered with the RERA. All the ongoing projects needed to be registered. All the ongoing projects, that is suppose in 2016 some projects are ongoing, and these ongoing projects needed to be registered under RERA Act within 3 months from the commencement of the act. Within 3 months from 1st May 2026 they needed to be registered under the RERA Act. Now once you are going to apply give the application for registration to the authority either needed to accept it or reject it within 30 days. The authority either needed to accept it or reject it within 30 days. Now after getting suppose approval that okay, we have approved that you can build this particular projects, the authority within 7 days needed to give the website and the login ID. Okay, the website and the login ID. What will promoter do of this website and login ID is that he will do all the details. He will mention all the details in there. All the details that okay, this is how I am going to build the building. I have already told you, like balcony here, a veranda there, and then a window here, a gate there. So like this layout plans etc. He will mention it all in the its website. So if you are building any kind of project, you needed to get the approval from the authority. For that you are going to make the application. The application must be accepted and rejected within 30 days. If suppose it is accepted, the authority must within 7 days give you the login ID, password and your website. In the website, it is the responsibility of promoter to provide you all the information related to the building. Okay, all information related to the building the promoter needed to give there, so that the allottees who are interested in buying that can go to the website and directly see all the details mentioned in there. I hope you are able to get this point. Now this is only the summary points. We will understand more about it in the detail points. For each phases is required to get a separate registration. I have already covered this point. Now what are the exemptions applicable? Exemptions also I have covered, that less than 500 square meter, not exceeding 8 including all phases. Now promoter obtained completion certificate of the projects, that is the buildings that has been already been completed. The buildings that has already been completed before 2016. The building that obtain already completion certificate do not need it to register themselves with the RERA Act. And suppose in 2022 also, if some building is actually built there that time only, but now the repair and renovation is happening into the building, you are doing the repair and renovation, can the repair and renovation also be going to be registered? So no, the repair and renovation do not need it to be registered. Let me tell you, the repair and renovation of the project do not which do not involve you can only do repair and renovation, but repair and renovation do not include that making of some plot and then selling it. Now you are not doing repair and renovation, you are actually selling it. So if you are doing only repairs and renovation, that okay, you do not need to register yourself. But if you are selling it, marketing it, something like this is happening, then you needed to register the RERA Act. repair and renovation of the project which do not include marketing, advertising and selling of new apartments. Okay, so what are the exception? 500 square meter, 8 apartments that has already obtained the completion certificate, and the repair and renovation. Now all the agents also needed to be registered under the RERA Act and also facilitate in selling of the real estate projects, and whatever the real estate projects that they are selling must also be get registered. Okay, the agents has been barred to selling the projects that are not being registered. You can the agents can only sell the properties that are being registered. Okay, now what are the functions of real estate agents is to maintain books and accounts, to do not indulge themselves into the unfair trade practices, to give all the information and documents to the allottees. Now the allottees will go to the agent and will ask for some flats, etc. Now the agent will give them all the information, documents about the real estate projects. Okay, I hope you are getting this point. And discharge all other functions as may be prescribed. Now this is some of the points that covers the promoters. Promoters, what is the responsibility of promoter? Promoter need to create the web page for the public viewing, that I have already told you. In the web page that he should mention all the details, and he should also mention that what all advertisement he has done, what all prospectus has been there. Okay, all these things he needed to mention into the website for the public viewing. He also needed to mention that whatever website he has made, if in his website there is any structure defect, yes or no, he needed to mention that as well. Okay, now booking fees cannot be more than 10% of the cost of apartment. Booking fees cannot be more than 10% of the cost of apartment. What does it mean? Suppose the apartment cost is 1 crore rupees. Now the allottee will come to book the flat. Now the builder cannot ask him for money like 100%, 20% or like this. The maximum amount for booking can only be 10% of cost. Okay, that is suppose 10 lakh rupees in this case. Okay, so what is the maximum booking amount can be taken? 10%. What is the amount that the promoter needed to deposit into the scheduled bank? Whatever he get, 70%. I hope you are remembering these points. Okay, till then he needed to get registered within 3 months from the commencement of the act. Within how many days he must get the approval? Within 30 days, either acceptance or rejection. If acceptance, then within 7 days he will get all the details of the website. I hope that this revision is helping you out. Now what are the responsibilities and roles of allottees? So he must get all the information. It is its duty to get all the information. It is right. He can also get refunds and compensation if promoter fails to comply or give the possession of the particular building. Suppose the builder has said that okay, I will give you possession after 5 years, but after 5 years he is unable to give the possession, then the allottee has right to obtain its money plus interest plus compensation. Now it is the duty of allottee to make all the payments on time. Suppose the builder is actually building the project, the builder is also maintaining the website, etc. Now what is the duty of the allottee? The duty of the allottee is to pay the money, right? To pay the money time to time. Okay, it is not that always the duty of the promoter to do the things to make the building to rectify all the structure defect, but it is the duty of the allottee also to make the payment of on time. Okay, it is your duty to make the payment on time. Now allottee can take physical possession. Now once the building has been built, once the project has been built, he will obtain completion certificate that okay, my building has been completed. Now the structure has been done, all the buildings things has been done. After completion certificate, the promoter will apply for occupancy certificate. What do you mean by occupancy certificate? That the project is now in that position that someone can come and live there, someone can come and occupy there. All the electricity fittings has been done, all the water resources has been added, so anyone can come and occupy the property. This kind of certificate is known as occupancy certificate. Now 2 months from the obtaining the occupancy certificate, it is the responsibility of the allottee to take the possession. Okay, within 2 months of getting the occupancy certificate, the allottee must take the possession of the particular flat. Okay, the allottee shall take physical possession within 2 months from the occupancy certificate issued by the said apartment. Issued for the said apartment. Now, I have told you the interest. Suppose you have done some delay in payment. Suppose you have done some delay in the payment. Now you needed to give the interest, right? You needed to give the interest. This interest rate will be same for all for as well as if there is delay by the promoter, the same interest has been charged, and if there is delay by the allottee, the same interest has been charged. If there is delay by him, 10% delays by the allottee, then also 10%. It is not like that okay, if the allottee done something wrong, that 1%, and if I did something wrong, it is 10%. Not like this. The interest rate must be same. Okay. Now the obligation of allottee of interest, the interest rate can be reduced, like 10% and 10%. It can be reduced if the both have consented that okay, if you did the mistake, we will do 5%. If you did the mistake, we will do 5%. The interest rate must be same, but it can be reduced by both of their consent. Now these are the some of the points of regulatory authority. That's I have told you the RERA authority. All these points are covered for the RERA authority. Now I am not going to cover the authority points from here because this is going to be a theoretical topic that we will cover from the detail points as well. Okay, so I am currently leaving this point, but after completion of whole the chapters you can read it and able to understand it, because we will going to cover these all points from the detail part. Okay. Now let us cover the scope is almost same things. See, residential and commercial property ongoing projects completion certificate that we have already studied. 500 square meter, 8 apartments, repair and renovation point. If there is any structure defect, 5 years has been given, and within 30 days he needs to rectify the same. If there is any alteration in the project, 2/3 of allottee approval needed to be taken. If he doesn't do registration, he cannot do advertisement, market, sale, etc. We have already covered all these points. The allottee is liable to make necessary payment on time to time. Okay, all the points we have already covered. So I have already told you that we have studied the summary. Now again and again the same points are going to be come. The benefit of RERA to the authority, we all know that the same thing, the defect has been rectified within 5 years. This is the benefit given to the authority. If there is any problem, the refund will be liable with the help with the interest as well. The carpet area has been defined. It boosts the confidence of the buyers. The 70% amount must be kept with the scheduled bank. In website, all the disclosure must be there. If there is any false representation, he will be penalized. Any alteration will get 2/3 of the allottee permission before. Suppose, okay, if the builder is building the real estate project, and suppose he wanted to transfer it, he wanted that okay, now builder A will not build it, builder B will build it. So can he transfer the real estate project to another builder, to another promoter? Yes, he can do that if he obtained 2/3 of the allottee permission. If he has obtained 2/3 of allottee permission, he can transfer it. Okay. Both promoter as well as allottee is liable for same rate that we have already covered. Now, in case of defect in the title, okay, now I have told you the defect in the structure. If there is a defect in the structure, the builder is liable till 5 years. After 5 years, if there is any structure defect, the builder is not liable. But suppose if the defect is in the title. Title means what? Suppose the building has been built on a land and someone has come and said okay, this land is now belong to me, this land doesn't belong to the allottees, please go from here. So the defect is actually in the title. In this case, the builder is responsible for unlimited time. Okay, the builder will be responsible for unlimited period of time if there is defect in the title. I hope you are able to understand this point. Okay, now we will cover the definition. Okay, now we will cover the definition. We will only going to cover the important definition. Adjudicating of officer is the officer that actually give the orders. We do not need to cover it. The advertisement is anything that is incoming, informing any person about the project, offering for sale, anyone inviting person for purchase, advance, to make the advance of such purpose. Okay, these are the things that are called advertisement, basically to invite the person to purchase the building. Okay, these are known as the advertisement. Now, who are the allottees? I have told you the allottees is the person who actually buys the building. So suppose if person A actually buy the building and later on he sell the building to Mr. B. So can Mr. B is also allottee? Yes, Mr. B can also be allottee if the sale is happening. But suppose Mr. A has keep a tenant, Mr. T. So whether the tenant, the person whom the rent, the particular apartment is given on rent, can he also be considered as allottee? So no, this person cannot be considered as the allottee. The allottee can be the buyer or the subsequent buyer with the help of sale, transfer or otherwise, but it does not include the person whom it given on rent. Okay, now there are some examples etc given. You just have to read it. Whatever the understanding point of things I have already told you. Apartment can be anything, unit, block, flats, offices, showrooms, shops, godowns, etc. But it does not include row houses and plots. Row houses means, suppose you must have seen that there is plot and someone has made the house from mud. Okay, the mud houses or the, we can say, hut is also known as row houses. So these row houses or plots cannot be considered as an apartment. Okay, now I have multiple time told you that the act defined carpet area. The act defined carpet area. Now what is this carpet area? The carpet area excludes certain things. What are these things that are excluded, that are not to be included into the carpet area? Are external walls. Suppose this is your house and there is some external walls also given here. Some external walls are here, some walls coming out of, if there is a building, there will be some stairs coming out. So all these kinds of walls, external walls, are not included in the carpet area. All these external walls are not included into the carpet area. Service halls are not included into the carpet area. Balcony and veranda, even you have the balcony or the veranda, this is also not included into the carpet area. Open terrace area is also not included into the carpet area. So now what is included into the carpet area? The internal partition of wall. Suppose there are 4 rooms, so these internal partition of rooms are included into the carpet area. Other than these things are not included into the carpet area. Okay, now there are kinds of area. Let me tell you. There is carpet area, build up area and super build up area. Carpet area I have already told you, the net usable area. Now the build up area, carpet area and areas of wall, that is the external walls. Okay, and the super build up area is the whole area, the build up area as well as the common area. Common area, suppose there is park, there is some stairs etc that all persons are using. All these things include in the super build up area. If you once able to read it, you will able to understand that what are included into the, actually only the internal partition has been included into the carpet area. Other than this, balcony, veranda, open terrace area, etc. will not be included into the carpet area. Now common areas are actually, you all know that is common for all the persons resident into the building, like parks, terrace, common basements, loggings, electricity, gas, water supply, sanitations, water tanks, community facilities. So all these are common areas that are common for all the persons staying into that residential commodity. So can open parking area is also a common area? Yes, the open parking area is also the common area. Now I already told you what is completion certificate. Now garage means actually it does not include the open parking area. The open parking area is not the garage, but if there is an exclusive place is given to you, if there is a exclusive place given to you, assigned to you, that is known as garage. Okay, a roof with wall in 3 side of parking, something like this, and you can park your car here. So this is known as garage, but the open parking area where all the cars are parked, this is not included into the garage. Interest must be of same rate. Internal development works. Okay, let me tell you that suppose this is your building and there is various apartments. So there is some internal developments into your building. Okay, there is some internal developments into your building. Suppose there will be lightings, there will be parks. Okay, there will be suppose swimming pools. All these are internally developed into the super build-up area. Okay, these all are things are known as internal development. But suppose outside the super build-up area, the builder has built some roads, some lights, so that all persons can come and visit the apartment. These are outside the super build-up area is known as external development works. Okay, these are known as external development works. These are known as internal development works. Now see, let us see some example like roads, footpath, water supply, community buildings, solid waste mechanism, water conversion, infrastructure such as someone has also made some school, health apartment or public amenities for the purpose of using of the things for the allottees. Okay, these are known as internal development areas, and I have already told you the occupancy certificate. Persons are many persons that are actually the same persons that we see into the income tax act, that is the individual, HUF, company, firm, LLP, etc. Okay. Now promoters, I have already told you, these are the builders who actually build the project, who actually construct, who developed the land into the project, who act himself as building colonizer, etc. Suppose if a person has owned some land and he has given to some other builder to build the apartment over it and later on sell it. So can this person is also known as promoter? Yes, this person can also known as promoter. You once read it, you will able to understand. Real estate agent, I have already told you, these are the middlemen. Now let us come over the main sections. Short title and commencement, I have already told you. Short title, the RERA Act, commencement of 1st May 2016. Definitions, we have already covered the important definition that you needed to know for the commencement of this act. Now period to registration, we have already told you that each and every project needed for a registration 3 months from the commencement of date. He needed to register themselves. Now what are the exception? How we are able to cover it so fast is because we have already covered it from the summary. Okay, exemptions are 500 square meter, 8 flats, completion certificate, and repair and renovation. Now for application for registration, he needed to give the application, some documents and some declaration. What are these documents and declaration? We will understand it further also. Now within 30 days, the grant of registration, he needed to accept it or reject it. If within 30 days, if suppose no nothing reply has come from the authority, you have submitted your application within 30 days, you have waited for 30 days, but within 30 days you are not able to get any acceptance or rejection from the authority, then it will be considered as deemed acceptance. And after 30 days, he needed to give you within 7 days the registration number and the login ID and password. Extension of registration can be done. See, when you are going to for registration, I have already told you that you need to mention that within 5 years we are going to complete this building. Okay, within 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, we are going to complete this building. But suppose you are not able to complete this building within the time period you have given at the time of registration, then can extension be granted? So it said that no, extension cannot be granted. Extension can be granted only in one case, that is force majeure. Okay, that is the unexpected circumstances. Suppose like earthquake, that is not under your control. You have built the building, but earthquake comes, so you will get the extension, but maximum of 1 year. That is on in case of force majeure, something that is not in your control, some exceptional circumstances. So maximum extension can be given of 1 year. That is also in the case of force majeure, that is the unexpected circumstances. Okay, can your registration be revoked? You have given for registration, you have get the registration within 30 days, you have get the login ID and password, you are building the building. Now can your registration be cancelled? Yes, your registration can be cancelled if you are not able to follow the rules and regulations of the RERA Act, if you have done the violation of any terms and conditions, if you are engaged yourself into the unfair practices, you are making false advertisement and misleading statements, etc. Then in this case your revocation of registration can be happened. Okay, and once your revocation of your registration has been revoked, it will be mentioned in the website, and your all allottee will get to know that okay, your application, your registration has been revoked, and your bank account in which your 70% has been kept or remaining amount has been kept will be going to be freezed. Okay, you cannot now withdraw any amount from the bank account. Okay, now what will be the obligation of the authority in case of revocation? In case of revocation, what will be the obligation of the authority? Now once the authority will get to know that okay, your application will be, your registration will be revoked, he will go to the allottee and he will ask the allottee that okay, whether you wanted to continue to build the building. If the allottee say yes, we still wanted to build the building, then the appropriate government will continue by giving it to the other promoter. Suppose the earlier builder was builder A, now they will go to builder B to complete your building. Okay, and if suppose the allottee has said no, now we do not want the building, so the allottee will get the interest compensation as well as the refund. Okay, these are the obligation of the authority. Now the real estate agents also needed to be registered. The real estate agents also needed to be registered, and their application must be accepted and rejected. If their application got rejected, they must get opportunity of being heard, and if suppose within prescribed time, the time limit has not been prescribed in this case, if within prescribed time the application has not been accepted or rejected, it will be considered as deemed acceptance. Now it is given that the real estate agent must sell the property that is only registered. You must sell only the property that are registered. Any false or unfair trade practices, if the agent has done in any false or unfair trade practices, then he can also be suspended, or his registration can also be revoked. Now there can be some functions that is performed by the real estate agents that we have already seen, like maintenance of books of accounts, and then giving all the information and documents to the allottees. And there are some functions and duties of the promoters that we have also seen: 10%, 70%, website, mentioning the details, structure defect, title defect, giving the possessions, and something like this we will study further also. Now these are the detailed section. Now we are going to study it very fast because I have already covered all the points in there. The registration needed to be done 3 months from the commencement of the act. I am only showing you the important points. Exceptions we have covered: 500 square meter, completion certificate, repair and renovation, 500 square meter, okay, 8 apartments. Application for registration. Now for you will give the application. For with application you will get certain documents. What are these documents? Brief discussion about yourself, name, address, etc. Brief detail about the project you have done within past 5 years. Approval and commencement certificate, sanction plan, that okay, how you will going to make the layout plan, that okay, here the veranda will come, here the window will come, all the facilities that are you going to be provided, like firefighting facility, drinking water facility, emergency evacuation facility, and likewise what is going to be the location of your project, etc. These are the details documents you are going to be submit along with your application while registering your real estate projects. Now some affidavit you also needed to give, that okay, all the legal title is clear, the legal title is cleared, it is free from all encumbrances, there is no loan over the particular land on which the building has been built, from which time period it must needed to be completed. Okay, the 70% amount will go to the separate bank account. If they wanted to withdraw some amount, it can be done, and percentage of completion basis, proportion of percentage of completion basis, he must needed to certify it with the form engineer, architecture, and chartered accountant, and all the three needs it to be get they are certified. Okay, once they get certified by all the engineers, architecture, and chartered accountants, he can withdraw the amount proportionately. Okay, and he also must need to get its accounts audited within 6 months by the practicing chartered accountant. Okay, now hope you are able to understand that how he will going to be withdrawing the 70% amount. He must get the certified from all the 3%, and within six months he also needed to audited his accounts from the practicing chartered accountant. He also needed to mention all the details in the web-based online system, that is your website. All the examples, etc., you once needed to read it. All the things I'm going to cover into the lecture as well. Okay, grant of registration. Within 30 days the grant of registration must be done. Either you grant it or reject it. If you do not do anything within 30 days, it will considered as deemed registration. And after it, extension of registration. Can extension of registration possible? No, but it can also be possible only in one case, in case of false majeure. What is the maximum time period you will get the extension? 1 year. What is false majeure? False majeure means anything that is exceptional circumstances like war, flood, drought, cyclone, earthquake, and likewise. Okay, that is not under your control. In that case, your extension is possible for maximum of 1 year. Can revocation of registration possible? Yes, revocation of registration can be possible if in case you have done any kind of default of laws and regulation, you have not violated the terms and conditions, you have done into the unfair trade practices or fraudulent practices. Okay, we have already covered all the things, that is why I am going so fast. Okay, suppose if there is revocation of registration, your website will be in your website it will be shown that okay, your registration has been revoked, and your bank account will be freezed. All the things we have covered with the help of the chart in 2 pages, and see how many pages we have covered from the ICI module, but this all can be covered within 2 pages that we have studied earlier. Okay, Obligation of authority, I have already told you, they will go to the allottees and say that whether they wanted to build the building or they wanted to not build the building. If they wanted to build the building, they will go to the another promoter. If they do not wanted to build the building, then they will get the compensation refund with the help with the interest. Okay. Registration of real estate agents must also be done if within not time period. It will be considered as deemed registration. The same points. Functions of real estate agents, once read it, we have already covered it. Books and documents, records, etc. The same thing is covered here. Functions and duties of promoter. See, he needed to maintain the website. In website, he needed to update quarterly all these things. What the things he needed to update into the website is the detail of registration granted by the authority, quarterly up to date the type of apartments and plot he is making, quarterly up to date the number of garages garages booked, quarterly up to date the approval it has taken, quarterly up to date the status of the project, that okay, now 70% has been completed, now 80% has been completed, now only 10% has been completed, likewise, and other information in document is specified by the authority. All these information he needed to update in the website. Who will update? The promoter will update. Okay. Website, he need also in the website he needed to mention all the advertisement he is done, all the information he must be shared with the allottee. Now, what are the responsibility of the promoter? Once read it, it is not important. Who is responsible to obtaining completion certificate and occupancy certificate? The promoter is responsible for it. Now you must have seen that in the case of these kinds of building, there will be some common areas. Okay, common areas and these things. So who will take care of these common areas? The associations of allottees will take care of these common areas afterwards. Okay, so these associations of allottees, who will make these associations of allottees? It is the responsibility of the promoter to make these associations of allottees, and it is the responsibility of allottees to participate in making the associations of allottees. These are the allottees that will be and they will make the association. Suppose they have elected 2 to 3 persons who will become the associations of allottees and take care of all the things into the common areas, etc. They will take care of it. Now, in what period the association of allottees must be made? Within 3 months it must be made. All the things are not very important, just read it out. Okay, so this we have already covered in another way, that if you are making any advertisement in the prospectus and it is considered as incorrect, so you needed to give the compensation to the allottees who have relied on your incorrect advertisement. Okay, along with the interest. Now, what is the ceiling of advance can be taken? 10% ceiling is there, that okay, you can only take 10% as your advance. Now, the promoter needed to adherence to the plan. Whatever plan the promoter has given at the time of allotment, he needed to adhere to that plan as well. But if he wanted to do any kind of minor changes, he can do that. If a major changes, then he needed to take the approval of 2/3 of the allottees. Okay. If there is any structure defect, 5 years, 30 days. If there is a defect in the title, unlimited period. Obligation of promoter to transfer to the real estate project to the third party. Okay, the same thing we have covered. If a builder BA wanted to transfer the building to builder B, he can transfer if he is getting 2/3 of allottee permission, that okay, now builder B will going to build your building. Okay, but will builder B will get some extra time? Will he get some extra time? So no, he will not get any kind of extra time. Suppose the builder had said that okay, I will build the building within 10 years. Okay, within 10 years. After 6th year, he has transferred it to the builder B. Now builder B needed to build it within 4 years. No extension of time period will be given to him. And 2/3 of allottee permission must be needed in case of transfer. Time period extension will not be given. All the pending obligation of builder A will now become the obligation of builder B. Examples, etc. You once read it. Now it is the responsibility of the promoter to get insurance. Okay, and once the real estate project has been completed, the insurance is going to be shifted. The insurance policy is going to be shifted now to the allottees. The insurance policy is given to the transfer to the insurance benefit to the allottees. Okay, and for the common areas, all the documents has been given to the associations of allottees. Transfer of titles. So in case of the apartment, okay, these are the buildings, it has apartments. The transfer of title for the apartment must be done within 3 months. Okay, must be done within 3 months. And the common area title documents will be transferred to associations of allottees within 30 days. Okay, within 30 days. And the title of 3 months will be given to whom? To the respective allottee who have booked that particular apartment. Okay, so apartment title will be given within 3 months, and the common area titles will be given to the associations of allottee within 30 days. Handing over documents by the promoters. In case of failure to give possession, he will going to give the compensation that is not barred with the any kind of limitation. Okay, suppose he have said that okay, I will make within 10 years your possession, but he has not able to give the possession, so now he needed to return all the money. Okay, it is not seen that okay, within 5 years only, nothing like this will be seen. If you are not able to complete your project, you needed to give the money along with the interest, along with the compensation. Now, rights and duties of allottee, just read it. If there is anything, I will tell you. Any important thing? No, if you are able to read it, you will able to understand that what are these things are. Now, the real estate regulatory authority, this is the pure theoretical topic. In this, nothing like this will there, only who are the members. Basically, it is talking about the RERA authority. That how RERA authority will work. So the composition of the RERA authority, there will be one chairperson and not less than 2 whole-time members. Nothing like this that I can explain you. You can just read it and able to understand it, but I am going forward towards it. Okay. So that in the RERA authority, there will be one chairperson and at least 2 whole-time members. Now, what will be the qualification of the chairperson and members? The chairperson must have at least 20 years of experience, and the members must have at least 15 years of experience in these particular areas. Okay, in these areas. What is the term of office? 5 years and 65 years of age, and not be eligible for reappointment. They are not eligible for reappointment, and they must act in the independence. They must act in independence. Now, what is their salaries and allowances? Not important. Can the chairperson and members can be removed? Yes, they can be removed if they become insolvent. They will be convicted by the in the offense of moral turpitude. They become physically and mentally incapable as a member. Okay. And has acquired any financial interest over something, then they can also be removed. If they do not act in the public interest, they can be removed. Who can be removed? The chairperson and the members of RERA authority. If they become insolvent, if they become convicted in the offense of moral turpitude, if they become physically and mentally incapable, if they act in their own interest, and if they have not prejudiced the interest of the public interest. Now, restriction on chairperson on being employment. So see, in the RERA, suppose the chairperson has passed the order against some builder. Now, what builder is saying? You will get removed after 5 years, right? After 5 years, you will get removed and you will not able to reappoint it. So I will give you appointment. I will give you employment. Please do not pass order against me. Please do not pass order against me. I will give you appointment. So to safeguard the independence of the chairperson and the members of RERA authority. This particular section came into the force that there is a restriction. You cannot become in the employment of persons whom against you have taken some action. Okay, so if some case come into your force that over that person, you cannot become the employee of that particular person. Okay, you cannot go into the management, you cannot even go for any kind of advice, you cannot act any kind of contract of services, or you cannot communicate anything to them. Okay, because why this section has come to protect the independence of the chairperson and the members. Vacancy do not invalidate the proceeding of authority. Suppose I have told you that the chairperson needed to be 20 years of experience. Suppose he has get appointed and later on find out that he has only 2 years of experience. So will this kind of vacancy invalidate all the proceedings done by this chairperson, all the orders passed by this chairperson? Will these orders become invalid now because he has only have 2 years of experience? So no, all the orders passed by the chairperson do not become invalidate. They cannot become invalidate. Functions of authority for promoter and real estate agents, just read it out, not very important. Now advocacy awareness measure. There is various act, there is RERA act, right? Now suppose central government is making any other act. Now for this act, the central government will also forward this act to the RERA authority, and he will say that to the advocacy authority, and he will say that okay, please see that whether this act is not in contravention of the RERA act. Now the advocacy authority within 60 days will give its recommendation etc to the CG. Now it is CG appropriation that whether they wanted to accept these kinds of suggestions or not. It is only given that within 60 days the advocacy must give its recommendation to the central government. What is the functions of authority? To maintain the database, maintain the website record, to regulate and register the real estate projects. Just read it, not very important. It can also issue interim orders. It can issue directions. So it can also rectify its own orders. How the interest and penalties and compensation will be recovered. Suppose you have mentioned the order. Okay, now you have placed the penalty of suppose 500 crores. So how this penalty will be recovered? It is recovered like a arrears of land revenue. MCQ might come that okay, how the RERA authority will recover its penalties, as a arrears of land revenue or as a arrears of income tax. So it will be the arrears of land revenue. Okay, earlier also this kind of MCQ comes. Central Advisory Council is actually a council that will advise time to time to central government to do something to promote the real estate. Okay, what he will do, he will advise and recommend the central government on all the matter concerning the implementation of the act, major question of policy towards the protection of consumer interests, to foster and growth and development of real estate sector, and other matter as may be prescribed by the central government. Okay, now I have already told you, if someone has the RERA authority has passed the order. Okay, now someone wanted to appeal against this order, they can go to the appellate tribunal. And if suppose the appellate tribunal also pass the order, and suppose the order for that order the someone is not satisfied, can they go further? Yes, they can go further to a high court in this case. Now for appealing into the appellate tribunal, it is mentioned that at least 30% you needed to pre-deposit. Okay, at least 30% you needed to pre-deposit. Suppose in order you needed to give 1 crore as penalty. Now you have appeal against this order, so at least 30%, that is 30 lakhs, you needed to pre-deposit into the appellate tribunal if you wanted to appeal against this order. Okay, if you wanted to appeal against the order, you at least needed to give 30% of pre-deposit, 30% of pre-deposit of the penalty. Okay, I hope you are able to get it. If you are able to, if it is only one single homework you have is just to read it out. All the points I have explained you. All the points where exams comes, all the points that are you will able to understand, I have told you. Only I have skip the points that is simple English. Okay, now the appeal must be disposed of by the appellate authority within 60 days. Means within 60 days the appellate authority must pass its orders. Like this I have mentioned and underline many things. Likewise you also needed to underline and make your own charts against here. Okay, here you needed to make your own charts, your own explanation, so that you do not need to read it again and again. Once you will read it, once I have explained you, now you will going to read it. Along with reading you will make your own small charts. Okay, and then suppose if second time you are reading it, you are not able to read it fully, you will see here, see the heading and able to understand that what this point is going to say. Okay, composition of appellate authority. Now same thing we have seen in RERA authority there is one chairperson and two whole-time members. Now in appellate authority there will be one chairperson and two members. One of these members will be judicial member and one of these members will be technical or administrative member. Okay, qualification, the chairperson must be judge of high court, the judicial member has this qualification and the technical member must have these qualifications. Nothing that I can explain you, these are the qualifications. If the exam, if any kind of question come into the examination, you just need to go to the index, see that where the qualification of this person has been given, come on this page and then copy paste the things. Nothing I can explain. How can I explain someone's qualification? Okay, he must get 20 years of experience, so nothing I can explain into it, right? So this is kind of point I'm just going forward to it and you need to once read it out. The appointment has been given 5 years, 65 years of age, not eligible for reappointment. Nothing I can tell you. Salary allowances has been given. These are are you able to say it within the same act? We have seen that the things has been repeated out, so there is nothing I can explain to it. The theoretical points, these are pure theoretical points. Even the exams, in the exams this kind of point has not been asked, because the ICI know that this is an open book examination. You will not going to retain it into the mind, you will only open the book and the copy paste the answer. So this kind of question is actually not asked into the paper. Can removal of chairperson can be done? Yes, same points. Insolvent, offenses, physical and mentally incapable, interest and the public interest. Now once I have covered it in little bit of detail, now again and again these kinds of points will come in each the act and I will go through over it like this only. Nothing, you just read it out. He can also employ the appellate tribunal for its functioning, can also appoint various employees and officers. Okay, vacancies, powers of tribunal, you just once read all the things. Okay, appeal to high court, as I have told you, the appeal to high court can also be done. Suppose he has agreed to the orders, now he has gone to the appellate tribunal, the appellate tribunal passed the order, now he is also agreed by this order, so they can go to high court also. After high court they cannot go to anyone. Whatever the decision by the high court will be final. Now there is various kind of penalty. Suppose penalty for contravention of section 4, it is 5% of cost of real estate project. Contravention for other provision of this act, it is 5% of the cost of the project. So the penalty also you just read it. If in any question penalty come, you just need it to come into this particular page and then see that what is the penalty out there. Okay, I will later on tell you that I have prepared an index, and in the index, wherever the penalty has been mentioned, there in small points, whatever the penalty is there, suppose 5% of cost of real estate projects. So I have mentioned likewise there also, because you do not need it to come here and look here also. Okay, I have mentioned there only. Penalties, just read it out. This also you can read out and I'm able to understand it. Read accounts and finance and audits. Okay, you needed to maintain your accounts, you needed to get it audited by CAG, and the reports has been submitted in the front of parliament. Okay, now what is the funds? So how funds will come into the RERA? By government grants, by fees under various acts, by interest, and how the money has been spent under the RERA Act in the salary and allowances and in other expenses. Whatever money has been left, whatever surplus will be there, will be go to the Consolidated Fund of India or state account. Okay, all other points just read it out. Now miscellaneous points, just read it, not much important. Power to make regulations, members, etc. Now with this we have completed our RERA Act. Okay, our RERA Act has been completed. Mainly the points in RERA is the summary point that we have covered. Okay, the 70%, 10% point we have covered. Then we have covered the pure theoretical point. You just once needed to read it. The structure defect things we have read it. Okay, whatever the important points are there, able to understand points are there, I have covered it. Now it is your homework to once read it with the ICI module. After reading it, you will able to understand whole of RERA Act. Okay, if you are not able to understand anything, you can always message me on the Telegram, and I will help you out into that case. Okay. Okay guys, yes, one more thing I wanted to ask you, wanted to tell you that after likewise we will cover all the chapters. Likewise we will cover all the chapters, and then you will once read it, all your doubts will be cleared, and then we will do practice of case study digest. We will do practice of case study digest. Okay, with this you will able to understand that how question is actually asked by this particular RERA Act, and you will able to understand that okay, these theoretical points are not actually asked. Only the point that I have explained you, I have made you understand, on that the points has been asked by the ICI. Okay, let us conclude this session, and the next session will be of Competition Act. See you there.